Miss James had her shoes off in court. Let's not forget that. I called it out in the closing argument, but it's true. She had a Starbucks coffee in her hand. She wasn't doing work. She wasn't sitting at the counsel table. She was in the back with her shoes off and a coffee. And at the end of the day, we're sitting there looking at this going, this is the state of our country.
At the end of the day, we're sitting there and we're turned around in our seat when we should probably be paying attention to what the judge is saying. And we're looking this way when we're probably missing something that, considering how little experience we have in a courtroom, we should probably be paying attention to. And I did really bad in that trial too. I probably shouldn't have been looking at the feet over there, but I'm looking at the feet and I'm thinking, she's got her shoes off. She's drinking a coffee, like queens do or something. And that's the state of our country. No, the state of our country is that up until like the last month, a guy like Trump could break the law in 1,000 different forms over the course of decades and basically never suffer any consequences. Not consequences that are large enough to actually matter, of course. There was some real estate stuff back in the 80s. There was Trump University and all that. But finally, the willful, needless breaking of the law is suffering actual consequences. That is part of the new state of the country, and we should all applaud it. But Alina Habba, since she is the legal representative for Donald Trump and someone who can only get her wins while on right-wing talk shows, never in a courtroom because she doesn't have the capability, the experience, or the knowledge, this is how she's going to try to win. You go to court, your guy gets hit for like $100 million for E. Jean Carroll, $250 million in the civil fraud lawsuit, and more are coming. So those are big losses, but I don't want the MAGA movement to focus on that and think that maybe Donald Trump is kind of a con man and a fraud and a failure. So instead, that black woman took her shoes off, and I think it's a travesty. Okay, she had her shoes off. Honestly, it's a sign of confidence, if anything. She whooped your butt, and she didn't even need to wear shoes while doing it. Your shoes stayed on. Did that help you in the end? Did that benefit you legally in some way? And I get that maybe the shoes thing is a little bit weird. Okay, what's with the coffee? People drink coffee. Lawyers drink coffee. Maybe you should have had a coffee during one of these trials. And it's Starbucks. Okay, look, I have my issue with Starbucks and their anti-union efforts. I have a feeling that's not what Alina Habba is so angry at them about. Is it supposed to be like luxury coffee or something? You're defending a literal billionaire and you're trying to present her as being hoity-toity because she had a mocha or something. Most of the people in that courtroom probably had Starbucks coffee. What a bizarre thing to focus on. But she does have other defenses. She says that in the end, they will win. They will not get away with it. Talking about, I guess, like, I don't know, the fact-based world, reality, I don't know. We will come at them, we will come hard, and we will literally fight until the truth comes out. There was nothing wrong. President Trump has done nothing wrong, except for all the stuff that he did wrong, like when he sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll and then defamed her about it. Those are some things he did that were wrong. And when they pretended that Seven Springs and a number of their other properties are worth like 100 times what they were, that was wrong. Now, I could just say that she's lying. I could also say maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she's such a bad lawyer that she doesn't know that you're not supposed to overvalue something by 100 times over to make it easier to get loans and things like that. I don't know. Is it dishonesty? Is it incompetence? ¿Por qué no los dos? I guess when it comes to Alina Habba, I don't know. But she goes on to say, I think the biggest message I can give the American people tonight is that he's not going to get away with it. This is of the judge, not Trump, who for once did not get away with it. Letitia James is not going to get away with it. The Biden administration is not going to get away with it. And I agree with her on that last part. The Biden administration is not going to get away with it because they have nothing at all to do with it. They're not involved in the trial. Alina Habba, do you even know who is a party to this lawsuit? Like, you should really read some of the paperwork. I know there's a lot of them, but you got to start leafing through it at least.